Hello, that's 51st Parallel. I'm Samuel. Let's talk about some extracurricular activities, especially about ambitious ones. What do I mean? Well, you'll soon understand. Today on the podcast, I have two chiefs of a scientific club at Wrocław University of Science and Technology. What does this team do? What are their goals? And what is Liliya's and Michał's part in that? Stay tuned to hear more. Okay, hello, Liliya and Michał. I'm very happy to have you on the podcast. I hope that's mutual. So tell me, how are you doing? Is everything good? I suspect that's a busy time for you now, right?
Yeah, for sure. To start off, maybe how we're doing. We're just around the corner of starting our competition in 2 weeks. We will be competing in USA. So last few months, I would say 2 or 3 have been a real busy time for us. But we're doing fine.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and you said that it is in 2 weeks, right? So in 2 weeks you'll be in the US?
We have a flight in a week, but the competition starts in 2 weeks.
So you'll still have some time to prepare there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just to set everything up, right? And to start the competition. Okay, well, good luck in that competition, I guess. Let's get directly to this scientific club and just tell me, what is it like? What is PWr In Space or PWr In Space in Polish? What is it?
So, as you said, we are a scientific club. We mostly focus around rocketry projects. Exactly, to be precise, these are experimental sounding rockets. The definition states that most of them are not as big as the ones you see on television, but more of like bigger amateur rocketry level. But we are also a lot more. We also have other projects regarding, for example, meteorological balloons or some conferences, events, and all around the broadening of the interest in space technology and the space industry. We not stop at that. The organization also is just a bunch of people that want to have some fun time and do some integrations, events, and all that stuff.
Well, very nice. You said something like these rockets are not that big as you see on television. So how big are your rockets?
The main project always is the one for the competition. That would be, depending on the year, it was around 3.5 to 4 meters. This year we have exceeded it. It's gonna be 4 meters, 10 centimeters tall. But most of other rockets, I would say the ones that we develop our systems on or something like that, are around a meter. They're a lot smaller and also smaller in diameter because, for example, the main project is 150 millimeters in diameter and the smaller ones around 60, something like that. But these ones help us to develop more advanced systems. For example, now it could be like an air brake system or fins or something like that.
Okay. You said that this year your rocket is... it's taller, it's bigger than the last year, right? Is it good or bad? Is it regulated somehow by the organizers of the competition?
To be honest, not really, because it depends how big the systems inside the rockets are. So the length of the rocket would all depend solely on the length of the internal systems. The main thing that makes it so long, so big, would be the propulsion. For us, it's the hybrid rocket engine. That would be nearly 1/3 of the rocket, and then the second biggest one would be the recovery, so the place where we store the parachutes and the separation system. This also could be a meter.
I see.
That sums up to 4 meters.
So theoretically, you can build a bigger rocket, right?
Yeah. If we would like to go for a higher distance, for a higher apogee, we would certainly need a bigger rocket, but it depends on the design, because we could go to widen the diameter of the rocket or build a wrong one.
Okay, I see. Okay, I have a question to Liliya. So how many people are in this scientific club approximately?
Approximately, we have around 60 people, I guess, but it depends because we have a lot of rotation in our science association. And for example, after recruitment process, we can have like 90 people, and then we have a selection, and at least we have 60 people.
So some people
50.
don't get to.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I see. And how many people are active participants, let's say?
Active, I think, is 20% of all members of PWr In Space.
Okay.
And now we have...
So it's like 12 people? If you said like 60, okay,
I
okay.
think more. I think around 30 people.
Okay, okay.
Something like
not
that.
bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Half of the people. That's very good. And what is the division of, let's say, labor in your scientific club? Who does what? Like, because Michał is the chief of this finance department, right? So what do you do?
I do I do administrative things and a lot of management in our PWr In Space. And I think that we should mention that we have roles on a paper, but we do everything in the scientific club. That's Michał do not only finance part, Michał do technical part too. And just like we have persons that have something to do, but they do everything.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. Actually, being an expert in different fields, that is very useful. And also, probably one of the things that not that many people understand is that all the, let's say, departments are important because management is actually super important. Probably that's not the, the face of the club. Like people, when they see rockets, they think of like engineers and someone who built that, someone who programmed some systems inside of the rocket. But rarely do people think about some people who actually managed that, who did all the, let's say, paperwork, right? So yeah, that's very important, and I'm glad there are such people as you are in this scientific club. So what are some, let's say, opportunities and your capabilities, and as this scientific club, what are you like capable of doing, and what are some, because I suspect you have some sponsors, right? So not like money is not that big of a deal, I guess.
We can start from sponsors, and we have companies from Aero Engineering and from space, for example, Scanway or ELOT. And of course, we have firms from manufacturing and I think programmistics one. And we have also sponsors like Ministry. Because I think our budget and funds for annually is 500,000 of PLN, and this is like a lot for Science Association in Poland. And we must find some sponsors, others from Wrocław University.
Okay.
Yeah. To be extra certain, like to make this clear, our biggest sponsor is the university, for sure. The second biggest would be the
Ministry.
The Ministry of Education. Yeah. For the sponsors that we see on paper, like the logos are, could be like 10% of the total amount.
Okay, I see. Wow, very nice. What about some opportunities that you have, like as a, let's say, participants of this scientific club? Like, does it open any doors, let's say, for you in the future, and like for this industry, let's say, aerospace industry? How is it?
So, not to sound extravagant, but the opportunities are not easily defined because as a aerospace engineer or a person included in developing some of the space systems, you're really a renaissance person doing everything in every possible field, because space industry is such a broad term that we can add everything to it and it will still make sense. About the opportunities, we often have some cooperations with, for example, as Liliya said, with the Łukasiewicz Institute of Aviation. They have some internship programs for us that are first of targeted our members and then to the public, for example. So we have the opportunity to join first. Or we also cooperate with some of the Wrocław space sector, as Liliya also said. For example, the Scanway company that I'm really happy to work at. They are developing some of the optical payloads for microsatellites, for example. And about the capabilities, as you also mentioned, most of the funding always goes to development of the new propulsion systems because that's the most expensive one. But the opportunities are what we ourselves define. If you want to build something else that nobody else built before, we'll just need to try to found it. That's the part.
Okay, I see. Oh, yeah.
I think that I can add to Michał's answer that the most expensive things, I think, it's competitions. That's like we go to USA and it's a lot of money to go to USA with a whole group, and we can't go in a 30 people or something like this. That's active people. We like select a group that's go into competitions to present our scientific association. And I think this trip to USA is like 200 PLN, 200,000 PLN right now.
Regarding the competition, that is also an award for the members to go there because that's an opportunity of itself. For example, in USA, when we go to Space America Cup, the sponsors there of the competition are these big space sector companies that you always see in the news. For example, Blue Origin or Sierra Space or somebody like Virgin Orbit that you won't be able to meet in Poland normally.
Yeah, of course, sure. Well, speaking of the opportunities, I guess we can apply this idiom here, right? The sky is the limit. So I'm very glad that it's this way for you. Let's say someone wants to join your scientific club. How to do that?
We have recruitment process, as Michał said before, 2 times a year. First time in, I think, October, and the second in March. And you can just apply to our forums where we place it on our social medias like Facebook or Instagram. And you have 3 etaps of recruitment process. First, you have open rocket, and then you have to do something exercise to do. For example, for propulsion system, you have one thing to do. For marketing, you have another one. And it depends to a department what they want from recruitment. And the third part is a speech to lead of this department. And then you have a decision, or can you join to our science association or not. And then you have like 2 or 3 months of preparation process.
Where they like teach you, right?
Yes, like mentorship.
Okay, very nice. So again, like first is fill out the form. The second one is solve some problems connected to the thing you plan to do, right? And the third one is like sort of interview.
To be precise, exactly, it's the first part is the form, and also for the technical divisions, we have also a special simulation program that is used extremely in the amateur rocketry. That is also called Open Rocket. In there, we have a task in which you have to simulate a rocket that goes to certain apogee with certain weight. That's not a really hard task, but I would say that is the one that you have to show the dedication to learn the new software and to make what we need you to make.
Okay, so what software do you use? Like, is it some sort of like CAD, CAD?
No,
Or-
it's the Open Rocket. It's called Open
Ah,
Rocket.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you
It's
have like a special dedicated software for
it's
that.
developed by some open source group as a mean to simulate amateur rocketry projects for just small rockets, but it also is capable of like inputting our custom engines that then we can simulate in the program, so we know if the rocket will is stable enough to get to the apogee that we want to.
Okay, I see. Do you also do the technical part, Liliya?
I don't remember
Okay, I
because
see.
it was 3 years ago, and maybe yes, maybe no.
Oh, okay.
But I can do it now,
Yeah, sure. Of course, with all the experience you have now. Because, like, for how long have you been, like, let's say, a part of this scientific lab?
Almost 3 years.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And of course, like, what are your, let's say, goals or values? Like, does it feel like you're, let's say, a family in this scientific club, or more like colleagues? How is it in your team?
I would say we're just a big group of friends. The values, for sure, we have all goals that are connected with the competitions and getting some kind of a place there, an award. That makes us possible to get some more funding, to get some more interesting projects. But I would say for the most part, the goal is to make some cool stuff, I would say.
Well, if you want to join this group of friends, let's say, who make cool stuff, just you know what to do. Okay, now I wanted to talk a little bit about you. So, like, if you don't mind, of course, because, that's personal information. So let's start with you, Michał. Where are you from? Are you from Wrocław?
Not exactly Wrocław, but I was born in a smaller city next to Wrocław, so yeah, somehow local here. And since high school, I've been more and more time in Wrocław. I went to school here and then university and all that stuff.
Okay, so how do you like our university?
It's not always perfect. It's not always easy, but I will say I like it. I've got some nice friends here. The vibes are cool.
Okay, yeah. No, that's nice. That's very good. What about you, Liliya?
I'm not from Wrocław.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Belarus, Brest, and I like our university too, but it can be hard, really hard, because when you connect science situation with studies and private life, it can be really hard, but it's nice.
Okay,
I think.
well, very good, very good. I'm very happy that it is this way. What about some other activities you do? Like, do you have any, Michał?
Oh, lately I've got less and less time to do some extra stuff because I also, apart from university, apart from the science club, I also work at the Scanway company, as I told earlier. But I've been into like FPV drones, if you know what it is exactly.
I'm not sure.
Oh, not sure. Okay. So if you've got for example, a simple DJI drone. That's just a commercial drone. If you go to the FPV route, you get it states as first-person view drones. So you get the competition drones, for example, that do the racing in the racing leagues across the ocean, for example, in the USA. And also we have one in Europe. But most of the hobby is about taking a drone to some place and do some tricks with it, so some flips around the abandoned building or in the wood between the trees, or you can also take the drone to do some nice cinematic shots or something like that. But it also depends on the drone you build, so that's the whole hobby of itself.
Wow, okay, I only have 2 questions. First of all, like, what is approximately like the fastest drone, like let's say in the world? What are what is the velocity we're talking about?
If I remember correctly, it was around 150, 160 kilometers an hour.
Okay, wow. And the second one is, you said something like across the ocean, right? So is it like, I mean, partially across the ocean or just from Europe to the US?
I mean, like they have competitions in the US. So that's what
okay,
I meant.
okay,
Yeah.
Over there, okay,
Over there, yeah, exactly.
I see. Sorry. What about you, Liliya? Like, what else do you do? And do you have time to do anything else?
I haven't got time, but I do karate most for 10 years, and like recently I have no time for karate, but I want really to come back to trainings. And the other hobby, I like to learn languages, and like now I start to learn Spanish, is a fifth language that
Okay, very nice.
I learn, yes, and like I think it is all.
Okay, you said
what I have
karate.
time.
So, what is your belt?
I have a brown belt right now.
Oh, okay.
It's like before black.
Very nice, very nice. Do you have like any goal of getting the black one?
I think yes, but maybe in some time. And because I'm starting in Belarus in our federation, and I haven't got federation right here in Wrocław, and it's a too complicated situation to continue like my type of karate.
Okay, so you said that, I mean, it's been like 10 years that you did that, right? So, like, did you participate in any competitions back in Belarus?
Yes. I'm 2 times winner of Republic of Belarus.
Wow. Okay, impressive, I'd say. And probably the obvious question is like, why rockets? Like, why did you decide to do that? Well, in your case, I guess I have some suspicion because clearly you like it a lot and you like drones, you like aviation space, right? But maybe there was something like that, let's say, sparked this enthusiasm in this sphere. How was it in your case?
It would sound simple, but as a child, to be honest, I've been a big fan of Star Wars. That is a simple road, I would say, but yeah, it took me from there to the university, and someday I just thought, yeah, just maybe join this
Wow,
club,
okay.
start building rockets.
That's very funny because I had another person like from my department, because I also study like aerospace engineering, like lotnictwo и космонавтика. So I had like Mateusz, and he said approximately like the same thing, because he said like, well, when I was a child I watched like Star Wars and I wanted to make a like lightsaber. That's how I got into that, something like that. Okay, what about you, Liliya? Because again, like as far as I understand, you study something else like management here at
Yes, I study management engineering and I was a faculty of management. But like when I was a child, I went with my grandpa outside and observed the stars. And when I was in a school, I like physics and astronomy. And then I come here and start to study management. And I think, but I like something connected with astronomy or something like this. And go to the scientific club like PWr In Space, because we have also Scorpio and aerospace. But I like rockets in some way, because NASA, something like Starship is cool things for me, like a girl. And I just wanted to be part of this.
Very nice, very nice. That's very interesting. You know that there are so many people, and there are so many let's say paths that people take to get to aerospace. And again, you don't have to be, let's say, in this classical understanding like aerospace engineer from the beginning. You can come to this area from a completely different like field of studies. So that's very interesting and always surprises me. And by the way, the last thing I wanted to ask you was, what are some other, let's say, competitions that you participate in? Maybe some, I don't know, festivals, something like that. Can you share some?
Yes, the main competition, as we said, is Spaceport America Cup and European Rocketry Challenge in Portugal. And we participated in different conferences, like conference from Polsa or Poland Agency of Space. And for example, last year we did by ourselves conference that's named Women in Space Technology.
And yeah, by the way, last week we were able to take part in an official ceremony of opening a innovative center regarding space and astrological studies to broaden the interest in that field. It's called Energosfera, next to Łódź. There it was a really interesting event. We were able to meet some great people from even NASA. For example, like our main Polish guy in NASA, Mr. Chmielewski, or other project managers that were working on some of the most important missions in human space industry or the space exploration, moreover. Also, regarding the amateur rocketry, we always take part in the events by the Polish Rocketry Association. There are 2 of them throughout the year, sometimes 3 if they are able to organize it. So we take part in Meteor, that is next to Krakow, on Błędowska Desert. It's a smaller event, mostly for younger children, maybe, for like amateurs to build a small rocket and launch it to around a kilometer. We try to do some experimental launches there sometimes only our members launch their private rockets there. And the second one would be the LRE, that is experimental rocket launching on the military field in Drawsko-Polskie. That is a lot of bigger event. It's only for the Rocketry Association members and the student teams. There we can launch bigger stuff up to around 25 kilometers of apogee.
Very interesting. Should everyone be interested in space, in your opinion, briefly?
Yes.
Very nice. What about you? What do you think?
Yes, I think the same.
Well, I also think that everyone should be interested in space. Well, thank you very much for coming to the podcast. I wish you good luck in your competitions. I hope that you'll take first place, of course. And let's say goodbye to our listeners. Goodbye.
Thank you very much for the invitation and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
This episode was recorded at Radio Luz LUZ on campus of Wrocław University of Science and Technology. You can find more episodes on our YouTube channel, as well as on various other platforms connected to Radio Luz. If you want to leave us a message, you can write to 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com, which is 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and see you next time.